This podcast contains adult language and mature themes, which may not be suitable for all listeners. So listen at your own fucking risk.
Welcome to Essential NPCs, the podcast where we sample some of the best
And possibly some of the worst.
tabletop RPGs. I'm Tommy,
I'm Addie.
and you're listening to Series 1, Episode 5, Thrynnic Gastronomy.
You got that?
I got it.
Yeah.
It's a hard one to say. Thank you for listening. We just want to give a shout out to all of our fans right off the bat here.
We have fans.
Just everyone who's listening, you guys are doing great. We're watching the stats, seeing how many subscribers we have. We've gotten a few good comments now. Lots of positivity. It's been a really fun time making this podcast.
Yeah, doing the podcast is fun on its own, but it's even more of a boon and to actually have people know that people are enjoying what we're putting out there and knowing that we're doing that, putting that out.
Yeah. So thank you to everyone who is taking time to listen to us hang out and play D&D. It's great. It's really fun for us, and hopefully it's fun for you guys to listen.
Yeah, and if you like it, maybe your friends will too.
Yeah. Tell your friends. Subscribe. Plug.
www.essentialnpcs.com.
All right. Let's just go ahead and move on into Words with the DM.
Hi.
About the previous episode, Crethlin eats pickles.
Yeah, he does eat pickles.
It's pretty much, I don't want to say that's all he does, but that's 70% of what Crethlin does for that episode. At a certain point, he's just I'm happy eating pickles. You guys just do whatever you want to do. It's great.
That's the neutral quality of his alignment coming out.
Yeah. I guess one thing I want to just jump into really quick is I believe after we played this session, you actually mentioned to me that almost this entire session was on the fly. You hadn't planned for us to capture this assassin.
No, not at all. And that's the fickle nature of dice, really.
Yeah.
As the DM, have the power to just be nope, she escapes. But I don't necessarily think that's fair.
Yeah, unless it's entirely essential. If it's she was the main baddie and we captured her and killed her, and then we don't have a campaign anymore.
Right, which has actually also happened to me in the past. But no, she was just supposed to be this shadowy figure that disappeared into the darkness. You did really well on your perception roll.
Well, Crethlin
would have missed her.
Oh, you mean when she got into the street?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Go Oberon.
And then you kept failing the hold persons, but he kept doing the called shots.
Right.
So he was able to knock her down. Mm-hmm. That was episode 3. And so then you had a captive for episode 4, which was something I hadn't planned on and decided to roll with anyhow.
Yeah. And I think we all walked away from that episode. I believe Sean said it was one of the better D&D sessions he'd ever played in.
You're making me blush.
Yeah. But before we start getting into all the bits and the juicy drama with Ruth and all, that was a really difficult interrogation sequence.
Yeah, it was. You guys made it difficult.
Yeah, it felt like we almost got there a few times and then didn't.
Yeah, so basically what happened is everybody picked a different tack. You were kind of good cop. Crethlin was the worst cop.
And in between was Darren and Vanguard.
Yeah, so basically what went on is a lot of times when there's an adversarial NPC that they need something from, I'll pick a few methods by which they could convince him or her. And this one was, basically by making her in serious amounts of pain, she was never going to give anything to you, but by offering her money or safe passage or, literally scaring her and then offering protection or something like that, you guys were going, if you had stuck to any one of those tracks, you would have convinced her. And you had gotten to the point where, all the bubbles were filled in. And then Darren was she's not going to talk. I'm going to go find Ruth.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I think what happened was we started to make our way, and then like after so many not complete successes, basically, like we would start to like make a little headway, and then like
we're adventurers. We should succeed immediately.
Yeah. And I do think that is can be attributed to the fact that this is series 1. This is the first time any of us have really played together, like as a group, and this is the first time any of us, with the exception of session 0, played with you as the DM. So we didn't know that like your DM style is like a couple rolls to achieve a success like this.
If it's hard, yeah.
A lot of like other DMs I've run with, like it's just like a single roll and then everything plays out from there. Some of them like don't make you roll, like you just keep trying stuff to try and entice a roll, and then finally they'll make you roll one roll at the end to see if everything you've done is worthwhile or not. I hate that one. So I think what happened is we thought like we hadn't rolled well enough, and that we had to, and like she would like shut us off, and we were like, oh, we need to change tactic. Though honestly, I think that the real culprit here is the fact that I came up with a beautiful lie and then rolled terribly, because as we've established,
have we gotten to that section of Words with the DM?
Words with the DM. Oberon complains about his dice. Ultimately, even with all of the hindering ourselves by constantly changing our tactic to try and make her talk, I think it all turned out for the best, because I think this episode would have been mediocre at best if we didn't have that drama with Ruth. I think like it would have been like an interrogation. We would have gotten some information out of her, some plot information. Probably would have killed her anyways, because that's kind of Bankard's thing. And then like we would have been like, all right, well, cool, let's continue on. And it wouldn't have been like emotionally charged. There wouldn't have been any character development. It would have just been like, cool, we spent an episode getting some information from a person.
Yeah.
In this case, it became like a really dramatic moment and a really important moment in our group as a whole, and specifically Darren, like in his life. I guess what I'm trying to say is you did that all on the fly.
I did do that.
You made a really, really good session completely on the fly without any idea of what the hell you were going to do, because you were just like, oh, they're not going to catch this assassin. You know, there's no way. And then we caught you off guard.
Pro tip: your characters are never going to do what you want them to do.
Never ever. But yeah, another tip of the hat to you for putting out such a great episode on the fly. It played really well, at least as far as I'm concerned. Hopefully our listeners enjoyed it as well. And hopefully Crethin will get to do more than just eat pickles for episode 5.
We should get him a jar of pickles.
We should. Yes, that's going to happen. We're going to do that. Keep a lookout for pictures of Seth eating pickles on set here at Essential NPCs. I'm calling it now. It's going to happen. I don't really have much more to add.
Well, what was your favorite?
Oh my God. I can't believe I forgot to ask you. All right, I have to go first.
Yeah, it's not that easy, is it?
No, well, I kind of have been talking about what my favorite thing was this whole time.
Shut up.
The entire episode.
No, doesn't count. Can't do it.
No, I would say my favorite moment was just the scene where Darren goes into Ruth's office. That particular scene, that like set the tone for everything that happened afterwards. The way that both Sean and you committed to that scene and kind of like played off of each other made everything else that followed have that emotional weight that was necessary to make it compelling, in my opinion. Like she put the knife to Ruth's throat, and like my heart was pumping because I was really, really like I was concerned for what this would mean for Darren. Like Darren said, like everything was on the line for him at that moment, and it was, and all of that ties back to that very first scene where we actually get the first glimpse into their relationship and everything that has gone wrong. So that was my favorite part, that scene. What about you? What was your favorite part?
It's gonna sound dumb, but my favorite part, after all that heaviness that you just brought on to us,
oh please give us some levity,
is when Crethlin eats pickles.
What?
It's the most like insignificant thing, and he like the entire like episode he's just like, I'm just sitting here eating my pickle.
Yeah.
Chomp chomp. And it made a really heavy episode not as heavy.
Right. Yeah, had that
he
levity.
was just like, Okay, I'll roll initiative. Oh, look, it's a 4. Cool. I'm going to sit here and eat my pickle.
Good shot, Bankard.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And I was really thankful for that because in the back of my head, I was like, this is getting like super serious. I don't know. Like people are going to be like turned off by how like crazy emotional this is going to get.
Yeah. Kudos to Seth for keeping it light, keeping it a game, you know?
I mean, you always want to have some portions, to be serious and to be darker, because without that, you can't really tell how fun and light everything is.
Right.
I mean, I liked all the serious parts. I love it when people get into role playing, but this was a part of role playing too, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Good job, Seth.
Yay, Seth and Sean.
And you know what?
And everybody.
Good job, Bankard. It was kind of cool to have like Damon and Bankard, who really hadn't interacted that much yet, kind of have like these moments where like Damon was like, "Thank you, Bankard. I needed somebody to walk through this with me, and you did."
I guess it turned out all right. I guess the first half of the episode was a bit of a mess, but it turned out okay in the second half.
Oh, it was messy because Crethlin broke her leg. All right. With that, unless we have anything else to talk about, I
guess we did the whole like subscribe and like us and all
subscribe, like us, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Excellent. Without further ado, enjoy episode 5, Thrynnic Gastronomy, and we'll banter at you next week.
Yep. Enjoy.
Well met. My name is Oberon Delgado, a Termish gladiator hailing from a remote desert village called Evershade. As quick with a sword as I am with my cutting wit, on a typical day you can expect to find me in one of 2 places: the local fighting pits or the library. When I was a young boy, a stroke of luck led me to discover a buried chest that had once belonged to a master bard called Hoban Baybasin. Amongst his belongings were an old cracked ocarina and a leather-bound journal. Within its pages, I found obscure glyphs and diagrams from which I began to decipher the mysteries of the arcane. Over a decade later, I'm still attempting to unlock all the secrets this journal has to offer. While I've only been on the road for a few years now, I've crossed the path of more than a few interesting traveling companions. As is the bardic way, I've taken to listening to their stories and occasionally even joining in on some of their adventures. The most recent of these companions came in the form of a mountain dwarf named Crethlin, whom I met in a tavern brawl a few months back. In his company, I've found myself swept up in a journey that makes the fighting pits seem dull in comparison. Until now, I've simply documented the stories of others, but something tells me I'll be chronicling my own tales for posterity soon enough.
I'm called Crethlin Partintil, an officer of the clan Thrain, barbarian and mountain dwarf of the highest caliber. I was a military lad before the first hairs grew on my chin, and I served for 200 years until they retired me and put me in the fucking Lawmakers Guild. I used to lead every clan migration between strongholds, scouting ahead, clearing the path, destroying threats, but once they retired me, I had to travel with the civilians. Well, I didn't have that for long. I left my clan 3 decades ago now and wouldn't return for all the gold in the caverns. I'm a traveller now. The laws of the Thryn are still close to my heart. For years, my officer salary kept me afloat, but I've run flat broke now and have to work for my lugger. Luckily, there's lots to be done with a maul and a hand axe. Oberon started following me around about 7 or 8 moons ago. The lad annoys the shite out of me, but he has his moments. Mostly he's there to tell my tale once I've finally been slain by some tough bastard. I suppose he's useful for something. If you want a glimpse into my travels, just take a look in my knapsack. I've got a centaur's tail cut with my own hands. I've got a beard comb made from the rib of a bear, the one whose skin I've got round my shoulders there. Just look at that face. I've got a bottle of wine from the finest elven pantry, and I've got plenty of room for more trophies of the like. Now go piss off before I make you eat your teeth.
I'm Bankard Brightwood, paladin of the Cuthbertine Order. I was sent by my order to assist the Thieves Guild. For a bunch of brigands, they surprisingly do quite a bit of God's work. When I arrived, I met a group of fellow adventurers. We came across this funny little halfling by the name of Barley. Barley was rather annoying, but all in all, I could tell he was a good man. And when Barley was killed, just because he was annoying, I never felt so helpless in my life. Felt like I let down St. Cuthbert and the common man he's supposed to protect, that I was supposed to protect. That night I swore an oath to Barley, to everyone. If you're ever harmed by evil, I, Bankard Brightwood, Paladin of St. Cuthbert, shall use his blessings to make you whole again, and harness his wrath to cleave evil in two.
I'm Darren Draug. They call me the Cleaner. Whenever there's a dirty job, I'm the guy the Thieves Guild calls to clean it up. I think fast, I talk fast, I act fast. I was born a wood elf, but I'd say I'm more of a city elf now. I don't see my family much anymore. At 351 years old, I'm just over the proverbial hill, and I've been doing what I'm doing for a long time. I bounced around Baldur's Gate and Waterdeep for a century or two, mostly cleaning, with a brief detour into doomed romance. I've never been much of a family man, especially since the job tends to get in the way. Occasionally, the differing nature of mortality between elves and humans gets in the way as well. But in recent years, I've been watching the next generation of Thieves Guild members grow up and come into their own, the latest of which is my dear young friend Bryn the Handsome, who called me in for a particularly dirty job. And unless my experience is wrong, with this job and these companions, it's gonna take a lot of cleaning.
Last time we left our adventurers, they had successfully retrieved a stone from the Temple of Lyra for their friend Bryn, who was subsequently attacked for said stone. Once they turned it over, they were able to save him and capture his would-be assassin, whom they attempted to interrogate but ended up murdering.
Not my fault.
And
She killed herself.
she didn't quite kill herself.
The choices.
In their pursuit of finding out more about the assassin, they contacted Darren's estranged daughter, Ruth, and they were able to have a tenuous reuniting.
Reunion?
Yes, that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
They've now taken up the mantle of completing Bryn's quasi-deathbed request that they find Anna Ravenhelm and the stones. As we left it, you guys are standing in the street. Ruth has been taken to a medic, and Avin Tabashil's body has been removed from the street as well. And what would you like to do now?
Avin Tabashil. What a waste of a great name.
I'm gonna name my first child that.
So are we still standing in the street? Is this like?
Unless you've gone somewhere else.
I didn't know if there was a. Oh no! Wait. That's right. We had drinks together. Bankard and Crethlin went out for drinks, and then you and I, Darren and I, hung out and drank some wine.
That's right.
That did happen.
So next
That's
day.
where
then?
we are. Or is it the next day?
No. Let's pick up right where we left off.
All right.
Hey, great.
Okay. So you guys are decompressing from your wearying day.
Having a drink or 5.
And Crethlin and Bankard have gone out to a bar. Darren and Oberon have returned to the townhouse.
The townhouse.
The townhouse. I don't know. To bond
Uncorked
or
a bottle
whatever.
of wine that I assume was there.
Yeah. And yeah, we're just kind of like, hanging out. I'm making him feel better. He's pretty torn up about the day.
Yeah, it's been a rough one.
Yeah. So while we're chatting, Darren, I do have some questions.
Uh-oh. That's never a good start.
Moving forward, if we're going to go on this I don't know, maybe I'd call it a quest, together, we all need to be on the same page. And as far as I can tell, you know more about what's going on than we do at the moment.
Not much more. I will tell you that remember the, quote, run-in with the pyromancer, unquote, I told you about not too long ago? Bryn's hair was singed and my eyebrows were a little ashy.
Yeah, I remember.
Wasn't really a pyromancer. In fact, it was a lot more fire than that. In fact, it was the plane of elemental fire.
What?
Yeah. So we've been looking for these stones in a lot of places, and I admit I don't know what they do. If Bryn knows anything about what they do, he's kept it from me, and maybe that's for the best that we don't know. It means that information can't be extracted from us.
Who are we up against here? Who's collecting these stones? Is this? I thought we dismantled Dakier's slave trade. Is this at all related to that, or did Enna start up on a new assignment?
We think it is related to that. We think it goes up even further than that. It's possible that he is working for even someone else, and it's possible that this goes all the way up. I'm not actually sure how far that is.
I'm afraid to find out myself.
Unfortunately, I don't trade in reconnaissance. I usually trade in keeping things quiet. But that's what I know at the moment. We did try to get one of these stones from the plane of elemental fire, but finding these has proven very difficult. Apparently, Bryn thinks Enna knows something that we don't. She's been working in Neverwinter, I believe, for a while. So maybe it's time to discuss how we're getting there.
Well, what about the other stones? There's 4 other stones besides the one we have here with us?
Yes. 4 that I know of.
Where are they being kept? Are they safe?
They are in Bryn's apartment, and maybe we should keep them safe.
I mean, if he's going to be incapacitated at the Cuthbertine Temple for Cuthbert knows how long, if they're just laying at his apartment, that's probably the first place they'll go.
Agreed, but I'm also leery about keeping them all in one place. Whoever wants them obviously wants them all together, and carrying them on us might make it easier for someone who's looking for them to steal all of them at once.
That makes sense. However, I still think there's probably somewhere more secure than...
Oh, definitely. Yes.
So maybe first thing in the morning we should go to Bryn's apartment?
That seems like a good plan.
All right. Well, I know you've had a hard, difficult day, but...
I finished the bottle of wine.
But I want you to know, like, I think I saw a glimmer of pride in your daughter's eyes when you left.
And I'm proud of her, too. I hope when I get back from this quest that maybe I can be a better father for however long she has left.
I don't doubt you have that in you.
Crethlin and Bankard, any touching moments from you guys? Don't be dirty.
Seth.
Well, we went out dancing. That was...
Yeah. Seth, I need you to follow my lead on this, okay?
Okay, I'm with you.
The tavern is silent. Crethlin and his opponent sit at a table. Bankard leans in to Crethlin's ear, gives him a pep talk. Friend, you're a mountain dwarf. Can't lose to this guy.
Is this an arm wrestle? Is that what's happening?
This is a drinking contest.
I thought it was going to be a dance-off.
Come on, he's about to go.
He's a big fucker.
Yeah, you're a mountain dwarf. Don't worry. Take the shot.
Crethlin, his hand crawls over the surface of the wooden table, and he grasps the shot between 2 fingers. Describe my opponent.
A Goliath.
Oh, he is a big fucker.
Big fucking fucker.
He's not looking too good, though. I think you got him on the ropes.
And I raise the shot glass up, give him a little cheers, and down it.
Roll for Constitution. A save, please.
16.
You feel the bile come up into your throat,
Oh!
Don't do it, Grethlin.
but it burns, and you fight back. It goes down, and the Goliath is showing no sign of weakness.
Oh, that's good.
And the crowd goes wild.
The bartender lines up another shot for both of you.
Hey, how you feeling over there?
Dundee.
Dundee, he says. Oh, well, cheers to you again.
On 3. 1.
2.
Wait. Does that...
What comes after 2, lad?
Is it 3?
Aye.
3.
Okay, 3.
Down.
Oh, they drank it. Who could have seen this one coming?
Roll for Constitution save, please.
It's 19.
The Goliath, who up to this point has shown no sign of weakness, downs the shot, and as he does, leans too far back, having lost his balance, and falls off the stool, knocking himself out in the process.
Mountain dwarf! Mountain dwarf! Mountain dwarf!
Mountain dwarf! Mountain dwarf! Hey, I'll show you lot.
You collect your winnings. Roll Constitution save, please.
So can
17.
All right.
does alcohol count as poison?
There's alcohol poisoning. That's the thing. How much do I win?
17 silver pieces.
Hey, there you go.
And a pair of underwear that was thrown.
And all the free drinks for the evening.
Ah! A round of mead for me and my friend.
The bartender gives you the most dubious look you've ever received. But you being the winner, you are welcome to your drinks.
And turn to Bankard and say, cheers, laddie, couldn't have done it without you.
Cheers, friend. Thanks for the mead.
Clink.
That was impressive.
Not so bad. I've had worse.
I'm sure there's a good story there.
Nope.
And then he tells the story.
He tells the story for the rest of the night until the sun comes up. It's that good of a story.
So you didn't sleep?
No.
Neither one of you slept?
No.
I was listening to the story.
All right. You both have a point of exhaustion. Yeah, so until you sleep or take a long rest, you have disadvantage on all ability checks.
Oh, cool.
And your sanity meter slowly.
Okay, so do you guys rejoin us? We wake up in the morning,
Yeah.
right? I cook breakfast.
We probably are stumbling in around the time we're making breakfast.
Oh, I don't know this recipe very well.
Oh, no.
It's only a 7 to understand the recipe.
All right.
Bankard's like leaning on Grethlin.
Oh no.
Overextending yourself, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah. This is a 6 to make breakfast. So I definitely.
So I'm
food
at the
poisoning.
table eating it, and I'm like, well, you know what they say. If you make breakfast badly, everything else in your day will go well.
Do they say that? I like that saying. Let's go with that.
Yeah, but if you make breakfast well, that's the only thing you're going to do.
I feel like that has a ring of truth to it.
It really does. It really does.
Wait, did you guys join?
I guess Bankard and Crethlin stumble through the door. Bangs open.
Hey, do you guys want to finish my eggs?
Oh, what is that smell?
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if great's the correct word to
Were
use.
you guys out drinking all night?
What does it look like?
Oh,
Stop yelling.
oh dear. Well, Dayron and I were going to go swing by Bryn's apartment.
Oh, fine, let's go. Come now.
You guys feeling up to this? Is this?
I don't know if we require any bowls in this particular proverbial China shop.
Oh, we're going to a China shop. Why are we shopping for China?
Maybe you take care of that, and we'll just hold the fort here.
Are we expecting to run into any trouble? Do you have any inclination of agents unseen? I mean, we didn't see the assassin coming. I'd hate to.
Let's bring him with us, just in case.
That's a lad. Let's go. Let's do it.
All right.
Come now.
Have some coffee or something.
Oh, did you make
Some
coffee?
Tea. Coffee?
Some
Coffee
kind of
is
strong
real.
drink.
Yeah, it's like-
Yeah, coffee.
Make
Yeah.
mine with grounds in the bottom so I can chomp them down.
So off we go to Bryn's apartment.
Okay, Dayron knows that Bryn actually doesn't live in the city. It's too dangerous. So you guys head back out toward the inn where you all first met.
Except Dayron.
I wasn't there.
So does he live upstairs?
Yes, top floor.
Do I happen to know where he's been keeping these stones?
Nope.
You don't know where he keeps his stones? Come on, man.
Look, we were good friends, but not that good.
So as you enter the tavern, you notice that the only person in the tavern on the first floor is the same bartender that was so kind to you before. He basically gives you no notice, as per usual, after he sees Dayron. And
Cool. Let's go upstairs.
All right.
so you head up the stairs, past sort of the temporary rooms that are available for either paying guests or Thieves Guild members, and head up to the top floor, which is locked.
Crethlin knocks on the door.
There's no answer.
Well, it's worth a shot.
I guess he's not in.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. He's not even in, is he? Crethlin knocks on the door again.
Still no answer.
Yeah. Definitely keep knocking.
Crethlin knocks
get
on the
out
door
my
again.
thieves' tools while he's knocking, just like as long as he's busy. As long as this is fine. And he attempts to pick the lock.
Sure, go for it.
23.
It takes you a few minutes. There are a lot of extra tumblers to
Always
pick.
trust a thief to have a good lock.
Yeah. But eventually you manage to, in fact, pick the lock.
I'm a pro.
Impressive work, Darren.
Thank you. I wouldn't expect that Bryn would have an easy lock to pick, but
Should we be concerned about booby trapping?
I don't know. I don't know if Bryn was exactly that kind of guy.
I'll go first. But yeah, he opens the door. Crethlin opens the door.
Okay. The door opens. There is a single person bed to the left, and then there is a desk in the right rear corner of the room. It's pretty bare bones. There is a very large map on the wall with a bunch of X's and circles and lines drawn on it. There's no key as to what these X's and circles and lines meant, but you think that Bryn has been marking it up.
Yeah, can I discern whether Bryn and I have been to any of these locations, like in our search?
Sure. Roll survival.
Ooh, a 17.
Okay, so some of these places, the ones with the black X's, you know that you've been to with Bryn.
Can I also look at the map and see if I've been to any of these places on my migration?
I think you mean look at both of those maps.
Oh,
Just because you're seeing double, probably.
yeah, probably.
Yeah,
the
roll
disadvantage.
survival with disadvantage.
Cool. I don't know.
Worth it.
Ah, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit.
A 19
okay.
and a 1.
But the one is a 5.
But it's a 1.
It's a 1. So you get up close to the map, so close that you bonk your head a little bit and try to steady yourself and rip it a little where it's pinned out.
All right, let's just roll this thing up here. And I take it off the wall and roll it up
Okay.
and put it in
Good
my
thinking.
pack.
Okay.
I'm gonna scan the room for loose floorboards, anything that looks like it might be like a good hiding place.
Yeah, and I'm gonna look through drawers and stuff.
I'm
Particularly, what I'm looking for is any paperwork he might have on his musings about the stones or anything like that.
All right. Roll investigation, Darren.
Pretty good at that. 26.
Okay, so you notice that behind the map that has just been taken down, some of the boards in the wall, while they line up, are a bit discolored compared to the rest of the wall.
This looks like a job for Crowbar.
Yeah, okay, roll investigation. Oberon, roll for investigation.
That is a 7.
The top one opens and it's got a bunch of like ink and quills and pencils and stuff.
Cool.
The rest of them don't open.
Oh, the other drawers won't open?
But they don't look suspicious. They look like drawers.
Okay, they might be locked. I might need a hand from you, Darren. But what have you found over there?
I'm over here. I'm like over there. What? I'm prying like these planks off the wall.
So you stick the crowbar in the left-hand side, the leftmost plank, and as you do, it pries open, and actually, sort of with a the entire discolored panel opens and swings to the right.
What is behind it?
There is a metal box, and on 4 pedestals, little tiny pedestals, are the remaining stones.
Crethlin snags the box.
Okay, roll Dex save, please. I'm going to say because he's exhausted, his danger sense is
Dulled.
limited for, people coming at him with, like, knives and things.
Sure.
So is this at disadvantage because he's drunky McDrunk?
No, this is a saving throw.
Great, because it was a critical hit.
Natural 20.
20?
Yes.
And I'm gonna be like, no, wait, no.
Okay, so as you reach in, you see some gas start to gather at the corners of the box as soon as you cross the plane of the front, and you are able to retract your hand before the gas fills the box.
Huh?
And it doesn't, much like the room with the water, it doesn't actually come out pour out into the room.
Ugh! What the fuck is that?
Well, that doesn't look good.
I'm not actually sure what that is. That's a pretty good trap there, Bryn. Can I try to detect any more traps in this
Sure.
safe? Damn, I am throwing rocks tonight. 24.
Okay, there are no physical traps that you see.
Okay.
You can roll Arcana if you have it.
Have I read anything like this? I have pretty decent Arcana, so.
Are you inspecting, or are you still looking at the drawers?
No, I'm inspecting. I've watched it. I went over when he pried open the thing because I was like, I need help with these drawers, and I watched all this happen.
Sure, you can roll Arcana.
Is Bankard there?
Yeah.
He's hanging out. He's a little hungover.
Yeah, he's just leaning against the wall.
You guys find anything yet?
That's a 23.
Okay, you recognize this as there's a magical trap that every time the plane is broken without saying the words first, it'll trigger that necrotic smoke.
So I believe you got lucky there, Crethlin. That is necrotic smoke. You may have lost a hand. Did Bryn ever mention a passcode, or is there a standard a word that he would attribute to some kind of magical trap that needs to be disarmed with the speaking of a power word?
Do I know this?
Is it password?
Roll history.
Roll being Bryn's confidant. Like, how much did he trust you? 15?
Okay, so you remember that he didn't actually tell you any magical word, but you do remember him mentioning that he did have some papers specifically for you should anything happen to him.
Maybe they're in those.
I don't know the words, but I know where we might be able to find them. Did you see anything in those drawers?
I found one drawer that opened. It just had inks and quills, but several of the other drawers appeared to be locked or sealed in some way.
Well, that seems to follow. It's a good old cautious Bryn. I'm gonna walk over to the desk and try some of the locked drawers.
Okay,
might these ones be booby trapped as well? Maybe we should.
I'll do it.
Nope.
You're opening.
Yeah, I'm gonna thieves tools it, I believe.
Okay. Roll investigation first, please.
Okay. I can't say no to that. God damn, 27.
Rolling hot.
Okay.
This has to end somewhere.
So as you go to open the first door you open, it's locked, but it's just a regular lock. There's a bunch of like financial ledgers that are for the Thieves Guild. The second door you open, you start to stick your picks in the lock, and then you recognize that it is a trapped drawer. It's something that you taught him how to do, where if you're not pushing the correct part of the drawer as you open it, it will in fact release a trap.
He took my teachings to heart. So proud of him. So do I know how to disable this?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Okay, roll sleight of hand.
Now, how good were you? 9. Oh, the student has surpassed the master, it would appear.
So it's really hot in the room, so your fingers sort of slip off the little point that you need to press, and a dart comes flying out at you and hits you right in the shoulder. You take 2 points of poison damage.
I told you I should have done it.
You all right?
It's not so bad.
Come here.
I'm so proud of him.
I'll remove the poison.
Thank you, Bankard. Praise be unto Saint Cuthbert.
Yes, praise him.
I did manage to get the lock open, did I?
You did. It opened.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to very tentatively open that drawer up and see what I can see in there.
There are 5 envelopes, all with different names on them, and yours is your name is on one of the envelopes.
All right. I won't mess with the other ones.
Well, did he write one for me? Just see if my name's in there.
Yeah. This one is for both of us, it looks like.
Oh, good.
I'm going to open that up.
Sure.
Oh, she's writing a note.
Yeah.
for Darren.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is secrets.
There's a loophole. If you just read it out loud, then everybody can know.
Well, I gotta read it first, then I'll decide if I'm gonna be a sneaky bastard or a regular bastard.
Okay. So there are 2 pieces of paper in the envelope. One is wrapped around a jeweled dagger.
Ooh. Oh, that's
And
so
then
sweet.
one is just a loose sheet of paper.
What you got there, Darren?
Darren turns away briefly, and he folds one of the papers in half and puts it under his jerkin, and like stands there, breathes for a moment, turns around. He's like, "We got it. Bryn always came through for me." And he he takes the jeweled dagger, he puts it in his belt, and turns around to show the other note to everyone. It says, Kire Kier, Flawless Trust. I bet that's it. Do I know what
Did
that...
you say it out loud?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. As you do, there's a flash in front of the box, and then it looks the mist is gone.
Ooh.
I think that was it.
Greflin snags all the stones.
Do I know what language that is, by the way?
It's Elvish.
Okay. So, like, Darren is, like, trying badly to, like, conceal, a tear in the corner of his eye, which he was, like, wiping away. He's like, all right. If Bryn trusted you guys, then I do, too. Here, we should keep these separate. And, like, picks up the stones and hands one to each.
No, they're mine.
He did snag them all.
He did say-
Oh. Hey, Creflin, do you mind if we split those up among us?
All right, but what do they look like?
They all look pretty much the same. Upon examining them, you see that one side is in Elvish script, like the one that you examined previously. And then on the opposite side is in Dwarvish script. It doesn't say anything that makes any sense.
But they all look pretty much exactly the same.
They all have different letterings, but none of them make sense.
Okay.
Are any of them written in Orcish by chance?
No.
Okay. It's the only other
But
language.
okay, cool. Well, fine. I gotta keep this one. And he
Yeah, keep
takes
the one in Dwarvish.
They all have Elvish.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
Happy.
I'll figure it. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to read it, in your downtime.
Flanky Falcon, I don't know what this fucking says.
Is that a translation?
This is direct as I can get it.
So you each take one.
So you have to.
So I'll put that in my inventory.
Yeah,
there.
so everybody should write that they have a stone in their inventory.
I want to examine these stones a little further using some magic that I've learned, but I'm sure it won't yield much information. But I just want to be thorough. But it will take some time. So do we want to get in and out of here fast, or you guys have a little bit of time?
I've been like standing at the wall save, kind of looking into it, and like totally not crying.
There's still a few locked drawers.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of ramble off, I guess. As soon as I see that, I'll be like, do we have a little bit of time? And then I walk up to Dayron and I put my hand on his shoulder. I'm like, Dayron.
Hey, what do you need?
I was curious if we wanted to inspect the other drawers before we left.
Yeah, I suppose so. Is that box still in there? Still in that safe? Because he didn't get.
I think I
right?
misunderstood. The silver box was
The
what
one that
was
was
holding
holding
the
the
stones. There was not a separate silver box, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
No.
misunderstood.
Never
That was
mind.
my bad.
All right.
I don't mean to ransack our friend's apartment, but
No, I agree. If he was keeping what he was keeping in under lock and key there, it might be worthwhile to investigate some other places as well. So there are more locked drawers, yes?
Yeah, there are 2 more locked drawers.
Okay, so I think I will take a look inside.
Sure. There are 2 more locked drawers. Just like the first one you opened, it just seems like there's probably a key somewhere. Another has a bunch of letters and missives collected. And then the bottom one has, it's kind of like a medieval junk drawer, basically. It's locked because there are some things that could be of value, but there doesn't seem to be anything particularly interesting.
do they look like keepsakes?
Yeah.
Like paper clips. Well, I'm gonna.
Is it like paper clips, or is it more like stuff that he might be holding on to for sentimental value?
It's actually kind of a mix. There's a box with a small oval, not brooch, but like painting inside.
Like a cameo?
Yeah. Thank you. That's I couldn't think of the word. That is of a dark-haired woman who resembles Bryn. Then there's a ring. And some, a piece of like ornately folded paper, and then there's some like broken quills and some hard candies. I don't know.
Yeah. we may want to keep this here to make sure he's got a home to come back to.
Right. No, I was more concerned if whoever attempted to assassinate him learned that they at least succeeded in incapacitating him, they may send agents to his apartment. And I just want to make sure we don't leave anything for them to take from him. I suppose, I don't know how much pull you have within the Thieves Guild. We've heard a lot about you. If you could assign thieves to protect this area, or if there's, I'm not sure the politics of the Thieves Guild.
I can let the bartender know on the way out, right? That like we should keep this place guarded.
Sure.
That's probably what I'll do. I'll let the old bar back know.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. I'd hate for him to lose anything that can't be replaced.
Crethlin, would you please roll perception for me
Yeah.
with disadvantage?
Oh,
Is that a 20 and a 1?
Yes, it is.
20 and a 1.
Okay.
So that's what we love the most.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna close these drawers up. Except I think I will do a perfunctory scan of those letters to see if there's anything from Enna up near the top, like anything recent.
There are. It looks like most of these are back and forth between Bryn and Enna.
Do any of them indicate where Enna is at the moment or where she was most recently?
So the top few look like they've been really well read. Like they're a bit crinkled and a bit worn. And then underneath those 3 or 4 pages, there's a few that look like they haven't been touched that are from Bryn to Enna, and they're dated most recently.
Oh, so they're unsent.
No, they look like they've been handled.
Oh, okay.
These are probably
But I would
copies.
Would I know? Oh, okay. So Enna may have received this.
Yeah.
So I'd like to take a look at that one.
Okay. So the first one is more just a status report. We found the limbo stone, sending the quote unquote kids to go fetch it. And the next one is haven't heard from you in a while. Where are you? Please respond to this. I know you're busy. Let me know where you are. And then the next one is addressed to Enna. But as you read on, it actually says towards the bottom, if received and you know where she is, please respond to this letter.
So it looks like even Bryn didn't know where Enna was. So I think going to her last known location and doing some research there as quickly as possible may be our best bet.
And according to the letters, that's Neverwinter?
Yeah. The you read through the last letter that Enna actually sent, and it says that she accomplished disassembling Morandale Dockier's organization. She's freed as many as she can. You assume she means slaves / indentured servants, and she'll meet him in Waterdeep. And that was dated about a month ago.
All right.
So she may have actually gone
Crethlin, please roll perception
to
for me
Waterdeep?
with disadvantage.
Well, Waterdeep is on the way. Oh my God.
It's a 1 and a 2.
Okay.
How many more ones can you roll?
Oh, man.
Maybe it's time to discuss how we should get there, because I don't think walking is the best idea. It's going to take a really long time. Maybe we can either get horses or charter a boat
Or maybe like if the Thieves Guild, if there's anyone you know who might, I don't know, if there's a guild wagon or something.
a wheelman.
Yeah, or so someone like if we have contacts within the Thieves Guild that could get us a wagon or horses. There's also
I am leery of sea travel. It's true.
about how long would it take us to go by horseback?
To Neverwinter?
To
Waterdeep first.
because it's on the way and she was supposed to meet him there.
Sure. So walking, you'd get there in about a month, and riding on horseback, you would get there in about 16 days, and with a cart, you would get there in about 21, 22 days.
As compared to possibly a boat or other mode of transportation?
Yep. Oberon roll intelligence.
That's an 11.
You can add your proficiency if you have history.
I do.
Okay.
So that makes it a 14.
You know that there are many ways to get to Waterdeep. You can get there by boat. You can get there by a big sailing ship in about 13 days. And you can get to Waterdeep in sort of a long ship, which isn't particularly comfortable, but faster in about 10. You also read about airships, and you know that that's the fastest mode of transportation from your reading. You've never actually experienced it, so it's all just like most things, I guess. And that's about 3.5 days journey.
I just want to point out to everybody listening at home that as soon as the word airships was spoken, just like 2 idiotic grins sprung up at this table. Three. And Cretlin's asleep.
Nobody said anything about an airship yet.
Well, I do now. I reiterate all that to you guys. I mentioned that we could go by boat. It would take a little less than 2 weeks.
That's
possibly.
fast, but I don't like.
Or I once read a tale of an adventuring group that was traveling along the Sword Coast, and they went on an airship, and the airship actually flew from Baldur's Gate. That's where it made port. I believe it was actually grounded in realism. Do I know the name of the port, or is there a name to the port?
Baldur's Gate is on a major river, so
But for airship, would it be in the same port?
it's a giant tower that the airship is attached to. You can see
I
it.
actually think I've seen the tower when we've been walking around Baldur's Gate, where the airship docks. I haven't seen it myself, but I haven't really investigated thoroughly. But the airship would take
3.5 days.
3.5 days. It might cost us a little bit, but we may be able to afford it. And
Well,
we'd
I
get there
think we
fast.
should take the fastest route. So yeah, well, let's go
I think
take
we
the
should
airship.
go in an airship. Darren looks like a little bit like a kid.
I've always wanted to travel on an airship.
Explain to me one more time what the fucking shite is an airship.
You'll see it when we get there. You'll love it.
You said
It's like
something
the-
about flying?
It's much like a boat, except for on a sea of clouds.
That does not sound natural.
It's pretty great, though.
So what is it? Does it have wings? Does it flap them?
You know, the author was actually somewhat obscure in their description of it. I'm not 100% sure, but we could go. It makes harbor or makes port at the same place the boats do, so we could investigate both options at the same time.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Well, maybe when you get some rest in you, buddy.
I'm sure we could take a vote if we had to.
Bankard, roll perception, please.
Democracy. Me?
Bankard.
Okay.
Disadvantage, correct?
Yes.
Oh, nice. 13.
Fucker.
That's how you do it.
Carry on.
Oh, never mind.
Hooray!
Nice enough.
All right, so I'm gonna close all of Bryn's drawers and lock them again.
The final question I have is, in that drawer with the envelopes, was there one addressed to Anna that we may want to deliver since he has been harmed? That's the purpose of that drawer, yes?
Oh, did I see one?
You didn't look. Do you look now?
Yeah, I'll look now.
There is.
All right.
Maybe we want to transport that to her as he has been.
Yeah, I hope she hasn't gotten into too much trouble. Ugh. All right, I'll take the letter to Anna.
Okay, sure. So put Anna's packet in your inventory.
All right, and now I will. Well, who else has packets in there? And anyone like relevant or just like other Thieves Guild members?
There's one that's addressed to a woman called L'Ariel, who you've never heard of. And then there are 2 other Thieves Guild people who you do know.
Okay, I'll write down the name L'Ariel, but I'm not gonna just take that letter or anything.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now I'll close
and
them
there's
off.
just another scan of the room, make sure we're not leaving anything behind. I'm just kind of looking all around, investigating one final bit.
It's pretty Spartan other than the desk area and the bed. There's a large window. Roll perception, please.
That's a 12.
Carry on.
There's just like a manticore sitting in the room. And if I sees it.
Well, all right, seems great. Let's get out of here.
So, yeah, upon looking up, all right, I think we have everything we need, so off we go.
I guess so.
All right. So you guys are heading back to Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, on the way out, I'm going to tell the bar back to, like, make sure this place is well guarded.
It always is. You know that.
I'm just trying to make these guys feel better, okay?
He gives you like a wink and a knowing nod. Yes, sir. We will protect this place.
Oh, thank God, goodness! I was really worried about that. That's a weight off my shoulders.
Oh, thanks, St. Cuthbert.
Yes, thank him. Thank him very much.
Okay.
So you guys walk back to Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Okay. It's about a 90-minute journey. So now it's just after midday as you enter the city gates.
Right.
Would you two like to rest while Darren and I see about getting us passage?
Yeah, let's just
You looking a little worse for weather, Crethlin.
Just go pass out for a little bit.
Let's drop them off at the at the townhouse.
Sleepy time.
Okay. So it takes you an additional half hour, 40 minutes to get to the townhouse where you drop them off for some sleep.
Is there
Sleep.
bar at
Sleep so
this
hard.
inn?
Well, no, the townhouse isn't an inn.
It's
just the townhouse.
It's the
that
Raven's
doesn't help
Rest.
me
Is there a liquor cabinet?
You do have your bottle of
that's
fancy
very good.
wine in your inventory.
I just take a slug of fancy wine and then pass out.
Okay.
Hair of the dog.
Yeah. So then, Darren, let's go see about getting to Waterdeep.
Yes, let's.
Off to the port and the tower with the airship. I'm so
Maybe.
excited. Maybe. Is there a tower with an airship?
Yeah.
There's no airship that you see. There is the tower where you have seen an airship before.
Okay.
Let's go to it.
Yeah.
All right. The actual tower itself, the gate around it is locked. As you walk up and you try the gate, a woman's voice rings out behind you. What are you doing?
I'm looking for the airship. Shrug.
Oh, you just missed it. It left a couple hours ago. It leaves at midday every 3 days.
Every 3 days,
Yeah.
midday.
Did you miss your booked passage? Is that why
we-
you're here? I mean, you don't have anything. Well, you look kitted out, so maybe you do. But what do you need?
Well, we need to get to Waterdeep as quickly as possible.
Well, that would be the airships. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the hope. But 3 days is the next time the airship will be leaving.
Well, it takes 3 days to get here, so I mean, yeah.
That is still the fastest
It's
passage
still
we're gonna
faster.
make.
Yeah. Could we charter could we charter a passage to Waterdeep in 3 days?
Sure. And she whips out a piece of paper and a quill out of her bag and says, so just the two of you?
It's actually going to be 4 of us.
4. And she looks at her ledger. Yeah, okay. Are you gonna be sharing a bunk, or are you going for the hammocks,
Hey,
or
whatever's cheapest. I don't think we're looking for anything fancy here.
well, you're traveling on an airship, so
Speed is more our need than comfort.
Okay. Yeah, so that's gonna be 44 gold and 5 silver per person. So that turns into roughly 180 gold for the one-way ticket. Are you wanting a round trip?
One way is great.
Yeah, one way will do for now.
Okay. And the reservation is under.
Oberon Delgado.
Can you spell that? I got it. It's fine.
OBERONDELGADO.
That's a funny last name you got, Mr. Delgado.
Thank you.
All right. It leaves 3 days from now at midday. You miss it, you lose half of your deposit. I'll take your deposit now. That's half the.
So 60 gold then, roughly, right? What was the total?
180 gold.
Oh, so 90 gold then.
Yes.
Okay,
I'll front 45.
I'll front 45 as well.
She takes the gold. Wow, you guys carry a lot on you. That's amazing. I guess you were planning on booking it. Okay, I'll let the captain know.
Might I just I mean, she has a ledger and everything, but she's like legit, right? She's not like wearing. I don't want to be conned. She's like wearing.
Roll
like,
insight.
Okay.
Oh, good call.
That's a critical failure. I trust her implicitly.
Can I also roll insight?
Sure.
20.
She seems legit.
All right.
She doesn't have like an airship patch
Yeah,
on or
like a
anything.
vest.
I just all of a sudden realized like we're just like
Now, do we receive like a ticket or a promissory note of some kind?
Not typically.
Darren, our name is on the ledger. The ledger is law.
I mean, I can write you a note if you want, but it's me you're going to be dealing with in a couple of days.
And,
All
I'm
right,
sorry,
don't get sick.
what was your name?
You didn't ask before.
That's what I'm asking now.
Oh, okay. My name is Anna.
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 Nice to
Anna.
Nice to meet you, and I look forward to traveling with you in 3 days.
Thank you, Mr. Delgado.
And I reach out my hand to shake her hand.
I don't touch people.
That's that's one policy to have, I suppose.
Hey, you did your best.
Is there anything else I can do for you gentlemen today?
No, you've done plenty. Thank you so much for your help.
All right. See you in 3 days. I say that you should probably arrive about mid-morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll plan with extra time to arrive.
And if you have any heavy baggage, it would be good to know because any cargo was going to cost extra. So anything
have
that's
a-
not on your person,
We have a dwarf.
is he a hill dwarf or a mountain dwarf?
Oh, he's a mountain dwarf.
Well, there may be an extra charge. I'll have to see. Sometimes they can get a little rotund.
And I thank her again, and we start walking off. I go, now, how in Cuthbert's name are we going to convince Crethlin to get on that thing?
We're gonna have to convince him.
We'll see.
I mean, I guess I don't know. Back in my enclave, elvish parents always used to do this thing where if their child was having a temper tantrum, they would just leave him behind in the forest. So I'm tempted to take some advice from old mom and pop on this particular matter.
Well, maybe we'll find a way around that. Oberon tugs awkwardly at the collar of his jerkin. Oh, God. And so, yeah, we go back and piss the rest of the day away, I suppose, while these two rest.
Okay. Okay, you guys accomplish a long rest. Your level of exhaustion has been rectified.
Rehydrated.
Yeah, anything else you guys want to do?
Yeah, so what do we want to do in the 3 days leading up to us? Oh, first, okay, so you guys wake up in the morning, I suppose. I make breakfast. I want to make sure it's really good, and I make something really nice for Crethlin.
Okay.
I'm gonna find like some mountain dwarf. No, wait. I've read about the Thryn, his
have read about the
barbarian
Thryn.
clan.
Traditional Thryn
I'm
fare.
gonna try and recreate a traditional Thryn breakfast.
Okay.
What? Is there some?
Is it just a bunch of beer or
There's like a
it's
mole
the traditional
involved.
meatball. So if that's just a straight intelligence roll to know the recipe, it's just an 8. So
Okay, roll for how good
Dwarf
it is.
recipes are hard.
yeah, that is a 16.
Okay, so you didn't have all the exact right ingredients. They use a lot of like dried, pickled, and canned stuff, and you don't have much of that, having depleted much of the stock over the past 6 months.
Way to go.
But with what you have, you're able to create a pretty good dish that pays homage to the Thryn. But it's not if you're going for actual authentic fare, you've failed miserably.
And is there any dwarven lager in the in the townhouse?
No, he drank it all.
it's been gone?
Then I would have attempted to wake up early enough to go buy some dwarven lager, or would I not be able to buy it this early in the day?
Considering
Hey, it's 11 o'clock somewhere.
to buy an entire barrel of lager, that's going to take a little bit of prearranging.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case, what have you been drinking if you drank all of the lager?
Oh, just the fine wine. I think that's all I got left.
Just rubbing alcohol.
Hand
Okay.
sanitizer, whatever.
Yeah, right.
So I'll leave a glass because you fell asleep with the bottle, right? I'm not gonna even dare trying to take that from you. So I'll leave like a nice clean glass for you to have some morning wine. and then there's food for everyone else too. We're having a traditional Thrynn breakfast today, gentlemen.
Ah, very exciting.
Good. Thrynn? Oh, what? How'd you make that?
I had to, make do with what I had, but you'll see the ceremonial meat bowl is in fact still there, and I have lamb's milk and plenty of jerky in there, and a few peas.
You made me a crowfla?
Yeah.
Oh, lad! I could kiss you on your mouth for that. I won't, but I could.
I'll take that. I'll take that. That's good enough.
All right, and
here's your glass for your wine.
Wine with breakfast, lad? Are you a barbarian?
We all eat our fine meat bowl.
Yeah.
What is it? Krothka?
Crowfla, I think I said.
Krothla. We have our krothla.
I just made it up. It's a Thrynn word. It's not a dwarvish word.
Is it somehow is it etymologically related to your name?
How dare you?
And I go, good news, everybody. We have booked passage to Waterdeep. We will leave in 3 days. We are going to be taking the airship.
Or what?
And it should take us 3 days to get there. So we'll be in Waterdeep in 6 days.
So did you see the airship?
I didn't. It had just left for passage.
Did you ask exactly what it was?
It's much like a boat, but in...
You said that, hey. But how will a boat take to the air and fly?
Here, give me 1 second. And I run back upstairs to my room, rifling through all my piles of books that I've accumulated to find the book that had the writing about the airship and try
pop-up children
and try to find the most flowery passage that describes it as majestically as possible.
Sure.
Do I have to roll anything for that, or do I just?
If you could please make up a flowery passage.
Sure.
It's like a puppet to tell Grethlin with.
So as you look through, you actually realize that there's a picture.
There is a picture in the book.
It
In
better
the
be
book.
a pop-up book, I'm telling you.
And it's described as a sailing ship with a large ladder the size of the ship above it, and also 3 very large enchanted gems underneath it to help it stay aloft.
And smoking's perfectly okay on that.
It's a giant gas basket.
So I grab that book and I come back down and I go, this is what it looks like, Grethlin, and I show him the picture.
Are balloons a thing in this world?
Sure.
Yes.
Like they would be like a festival thing. I would
Zeppelins
assume?
obviously are.
But like I guess like it would be like one of those things that like it'd just be a paper thing and you'd put a candle underneath it.
Yeah.
It would look kind of like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Can I just call that a balloon?
Sure.
Well, this balloon thing, this child's play thing, that's what we're going to ride on.
It's majestic.
Children also play with boats.
Toy boats, aye.
And children
You're
also
not going to
walk.
ride anywhere on the toy boat.
Listen to this passage, Grethlin. And Captain Blackwater looked over the sea of clouds and realized with the sun on his face that this was home. Can't you relate to that on migration?
On migration, we're walking on the ground.
This is his migration in the sky.
So what happens if something rips? What happens if how does it? What happens if that thing rips? If how do you do? What's going to happen if that happens?
Magic.
Grethlin, come over here with me. I'm gonna.
I'm not convinced by this.
Hey, just.
What, are you going to preach to me about Saint Cuthbert?
No. That elf is gonna get on the airship. You're not gonna let him show you up, are you?
I know what you're doing.
You don't want the elf to show more courage than a mountain dwarf.
Fine, I'll go there on your fucking airship.
All right, it's settled. Great. 3 days.
How much was the ticket?
It was
45 gold?
45 gold for a child's toy! What kind of swindlers are you dealing with here?
I believe her name was Anna.
For the sake of your 3-day trip,
You're gonna love it. It's the only way to travel. So we have 3 days, a little less now, to get all our things in order. We should pack up, travel light, take whatever we can. Any excessive baggage will cost extra, but I don't think any of us really carry too much on us anyways. So we should be okay.
Just pack my
I'll
carry-on.
just I can just choose a few choice books to bring with me. I'll leave the rest here.
I am gonna spend some. If I have downtime today,
You do?
okay. I'm going to compose a letter to Bryn,
Okay.
in response to his little packet letter.
Okay. Do you want to actually write it?
Okay. And if I have time after delivering that to where he's recuperating, I'd also like to visit Ruth where she is recuperating.
Oh,
Okay.
And if further possible, I would like to stop at the market and buy a toy balloon.
You can do all those things. The toy balloon costs you 2 copper.
Done. I chuckled myself.
I guess if we're gonna, I guess is Ruth conscious when you visit her, or I didn't know if
she
there
was conscious when you left. She was just
right.
Shake
Oh
him.
yeah, you this is just what I'm doing. You guys can do.
I'm just
whatever
gonna
you want.
perform a ritual on the stones, and he's out. I guess the other 2 might be out and about, but I'll perform a ritual on my stone to cast Identify on it,
Okay.
and see if it feels the same way or if it's different.
Sure. It feels nearly the same. Same, positive, negative balance thing.
Yeah.
That I've not yet perfected describing. It feels that way, but on maybe a different note, if that makes sense.
Okay, I take note of that, and then I'm going to go to the market and sell my rapier.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need it.
So you go to a weapon shop, you walk in, you offer your rapier.
Mm-hmm.
They offer to buy it for 18 gold pieces.
18. Is that a fair price?
It's fairer than nothing.
That's true, but this sword has a history.
Yes, that's why it's worth 18.
Do you go to the fighting pits often?
No, they're barbaric. Weapons are really to be used in glorious battle, not play fighting.
That's your opinion, is it?
Of course, or else I wouldn't have said it.
18 gold will be fine then. And I scowl a little bit.
He gives you 18 gold.
That's what I'm doing with my day.
Okay.
I'd probably go watch the fighting pits. I won't participate this time.
Okay. It's fun.
Yep.
You miss it a little.
I'll probably revisit the pits soon.
Krethlin, do you do anything?
Yeah, I believe I know of a weapons shop in town with a couple of Goliaths.
Yeah.
Cool. I go there.
Ching. Ching. Ching.
Hello there, lad.
I'm a lady.
Oh, you're the lady
Ching.
on our ship.
Ching.
Sorry. I
Ching.
bow to her and offer my most sincere apologies, lass. You're a fine lady.
Forgiven.
Oh, thank you. I have a couple of weapons that I'd like a look taken at so I can learn a little bit more about their origins. Well, one I want to improve, the other I want to learn about the origin of.
Okay.
Take a look at this, and I pull out my war pick.
Oh, this is shiny.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anything like this? Anything similar?
Oh, it's a pick.
Aye, it is, but look at the shape of it. See, the pick part of it is a little bit twisty in the bottom. That somehow makes it stronger. I want to learn a little bit about that.
Well, me husband, he's not here.
Oh.
He does all the weird weapons. You're the one with the mace.
The mole, yeah, that's
Mole?
correct.
Right. Who wanted it shinier? Is that
Shinier,
right?
heavier, some kind of...
Right. He does all them specialty weapons. I do all the pointy weapons.
Oh, I see. Well, when will he be back?
Well, he's selling at the market right now. So, later?
I suppose I will drop by later, then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Chink.
Thank.
Chink,
And he walks away.
chink.
Is there a pub nearby?
There's actually the helm and cloak.
Oh, yeah,
Across
yeah,
the
Helmet
street.
Cloak. Yeah, I'll pop in there. Do I
Right.
remember that bartender?
Do you remember?
No, you
didn't
never
go
went in.
Oh, I never went in. Oh, okay, yeah, so I just walk right in.
Okay. Hi, dear. How are you? What can I get you today?
Pint of lager, please, Mary.
Oh, it's Charlotte.
I don't care. Pint of lager, please.
Oh, all right. Here you go.
Thank you. How much?
2 gold, please.
And I give her 4 gold.
Oh, aren't you sweet?
Thank you.
And she tops it up a little bit more.
Oh.
I like your fur. It's all, rough and manly.
Well, thank you, lass. I killed this bear with my own hands.
Really?
Aye.
That's nice.
Yeah, he was a tough old bastard, too.
So, was that around here?
Not too far, yeah, and out in the woods out in the western woods.
East.
The west is the coast.
The eastern woods. I don't know my geography that well.
That's all right. Me neither. I ain't actually ever been outside of Baldur's Cave.
Oh, never.
No.
Oh, you should travel sometime. It's the most loveliest thing in the world.
Well, I'd go with you.
Well, I suppose I'd take you.
Well, I think that sounds right fine.
Any large luggage to claim?
Ooh. Have you ever been on an airship, lass?
No, but I seen them. They're great.
How are they? Can you tell me about them?
Sure. Well, every couple of days you see one flying in and out. They're like a sea ship, but with like a giant bag attached to the top, and they fly and they make this like whoa 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 sound.
Like do they have like something on the back that pushes it, or like
Yeah, they have like a propeller,
a flippity thing?
a turny thing.
A tiny thing. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, but what is the bag full of? How does that carry the thing?
I don't rightly know. I've never seen one up close.
Thank you, Mary. I'll be
It's
back in a bit.
Charlotte.
Thank you. And I just kind of wander around and like start asking people about the.
Nobody that you've come into contact with who wants to talk to you knows about airships.
All right, and I just go sulk in a corner for a few hours.
Okay.
And then I go back to the thingamajig. Is her husband back?
Hello again.
Hello again, lass. Good to see you.
You too.
Is your husband in yet?
Yeah, he's inside.
Inside the thing. Oh, I will go speak with him. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Ching. Ching.
I go inside.
That's
God.
the pipe smoking
He's
noise,
smoking on his
everybody.
Yeah.
Hello.
Greetings, lad. How are you doing?
Pretty fine.
You're looking quite fine, sir. That pipe is the largest I've ever seen in my life.
It's my favorite.
Well, lad, I had a couple of questions I want to ask you. I have a couple of weapons. This, and he flaps the maul down onto the desk.
Oh, I remember this one.
Oh, well,
You wanted me to shiny it up for you.
if you could, lad.
It'll be a day.
That's fine. I have a day this time.
anything else?
Also, I'd like you to take a look at this weapon here. Kind of consulting thing, I suppose.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
This is a nice pick. I likes it.
Thank you, lad. Can you tell me anything more about it? Something you recognise?
Well, I've never seen a construction like this before,
No.
but, well, it's silver, so that's good if you want to fight things that are weak to silver,
Oh. I didn't recognise that before.
but, I've not seen a construction like this, so I can't rightly tell you anything about it. I don't even think I can shiny it up for you.
Oh.
It's already pretty shiny, except for the blood.
Well, it's just a little bit of blood. Sometimes I miss a bit.
Is that, what kind of blood is that? It's all blacky purple.
You wouldn't believe me if I told you, lad.
I believe lots of things. People say I shouldn't so much.
Well, there's one thing I'll tell you that is the truth, and that is I got that blood on my weapon from fighting a door.
But doors don't bleed.
And usually they don't, but this one had some big old eyes and teeth, and it was sticky.
He looks at the doors around him.
You have changed this fellow's life.
Are all doors like that now?
No, just this one that I found in a weird enchanted place.
Oh. Well, this place isn't weird and enchanted.
Not as I can tell.
And
no.
there's lots of weapons here, so it's probably okay.
I think, lad, that you could take it if you tried.
Oh, that's sweet of you.
So I suppose I should come back in a day and pick up them all?
Yeah. Who should I say is the owner of this weapon? I like to write the names on them.
Well, lad, you can write Crethlin on that one.
Creflin?
Crethlin Partintilin.
Okay. Can you...
I was going to
Can
say,
you
should I spell
write
that
it
out
out
for
for
you?
me?
Yeah, and does he have like a pen and paper, and I scribble it on a piece of paper, and that is in the original Dwarvish.
Okay.
Thank you, lad. I will return in 24 hours.
See you tomorrow.
I'm pleased to make your acquaintance.
I hope he misspells it so that it says this wall belongs to a bowl of meat.
Crofla.
Bankard, is there anything you wanted to do?
I'd probably just go do paladin shit. Like,
Classic bang.
like go to the temple, tend a service or two, pray, check on Bryn, see how they're treating him.
Okay. So after all of your independent errands, you all meet back for the evening, have a nice community drink, and turn in for the evening.
Yeah.
Oh, lad, what happened to your sword?
Everyone who
Don't worry about it.
left the building, the townhouse today, I'd like you to roll perception, please.
Interesting.
Oh, no, you get away from me. I hate you.
8.
15.
18 for Creflin.
Now you're
23 for Oberon.
Okay, carry on.
Oh, man.
The
I think
manticore
she's
is
just having
still
us
there,
roll it
guys.
just to like
Something
keep
is
us on
going
edge,
on
you
that
know?
we really don't notice.
Oh, jeez.
So before we go on this adventure together, I was wondering if we wanted to talk a bit about funds for the group as a whole.
How do you mean?
Well, in the stories I've read, the heroes have always had a pool to draw from for their adventuring funds. Like everyone would have their own money as well, but ultimately there'd be someone who basically was like the treasurer. For
Oh,
instance.
is there like a ledger in the back of every adventure story? It's like, oh, here's how much money they had.
Actually, in the Thryn, They are designated treasurers. I mean, there's a finders keepers policy for the more important items, but for adventuring purposes, there is somebody who keeps it.
Right, yeah.
I'd agree with that.
I'd be more than willing to donate to this fund.
Right, if we all just front a certain amount of money and then one of us holds on to it, that way we know how much, so that not everyone has to handle all the money. And then if we buy supplies for the group, like potions or better armor or anything like that, we can draw from that fund.
It seems agreeable. I'm not like one of those greedy thieves you've read about.
I've read about a lot of greedy thieves.
Well, if anybody should carry the aforementioned funds, I believe it should be the one who would know most about those types of things, and that would be me, I believe. I'm not saying I should decide what we spend the money on, but I will carry it because I think, out of all of them, it might be the safest bet.
I'm okay with that. I trust Crethlin with that. Have you on your migrations before, were you ever designated treasurer?
Only once and never again after that, but that's a story, it's a different story.
Unrelated to the treasury.
Unrelated to what happened to the funds in the treasury, yes.
What happened to the funds in the treasury?
It was unrelated, I believe I said, so I will leave it at that.
So how much do we want to kick into this fund?
I don't mind donating most of my funds. It was given to me for the same purpose as the fund itself, so...
Let's say 100?
I don't quite have that much on me.
I guess I've tipped my hand there.
I'll throw in 100.
I'll throw in 60. Though I did spend some of my gold on these lovely healing potions that I bought for the group a few days ago. We haven't used them yet. I have 4 of them.
That's so sweet.
Yes.
How much were they each?
I don't even remember.
Well, we'll consider that the completion of
Does everyone want to hold on to a healing potion?
By all means.
Aye.
So I pass a healing potion to each one of them and keep one for myself.
Okay, mark it down in your inventory.
It's a lesser healing potion.
Okay. Which is 2d4 plus 2.
Mm-hmm. So it's just, a little pick-me-up.
Yeah, I'll put 100 into the communal fund.
And I'll throw in 60.
And I suppose I should be going shopping for something to carry this in. And yes, also rating it. Thank you.
I will keep a few pieces for perhaps a drink here or there.
Right, we all have our own spending money.
Okay. And with the group now basically a corporation.
Yeah.
We should come up with a name.
We should definitely come up with a business name. I was just thinking the same thing. We got to do branding. We got to do posters. We got to do T-shirts.
Syndication.
Tunics.
You all have a good evening. Turn in. You go back and pick up your maul the next day. Mm-hmm. It's shinier. It is also silvered.
Oh, nice.
Which is what you assume he meant by shiny.
Yeah.
And it costs you 7 gold for the shiny and 7 gold for the silver. So that's 14 altogether. And your visit went very well. She was happy to see you.
Oh, yeah.
She's recuperating well, though still a bit emotionally scarred from the betrayal. It turns out she makes really great cookies.
I never knew this about you, Ruth.
And you feel filled with the sensicalness of St. Cuthbert, Bankard. And with that, we will close for today.
Next, airship.
This podcast has been brought to you by ENPC Productions, all rights reserved. The Essential NPCs podcast is not affiliated with, endorsed, sponsored, or specifically approved by Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast and Dungeons & Dragons are trademarks of Wizards of the Coast, LLC, a subsidiary of Hasbro. Go to dnd.wizards.com to find out more.